Wild conspiracy theories have emerged over the historic Blue Origin flight into space after an apparent gap was spotted in the landing video. Footage captured the space shuttle making a soft landing back on Earth after the mission. However, viewers spotted a bizarre moment in the clip that sparked a slew of conspiracy theories that slammed the mission was big. In the video, Jeff Bezos is seen wrenching open the hatch from outside to let the crew out of the craft. However, footage from just minutes earlier clearly showed the capsule door being opened from the inside. Dozens of skeptics seized on the moment to claim the entire operation was staged. What fueled the suspicions even more is the fact that the doors were seen opening inwards, unlike most spacecraft with pressurized cabins. Typical spacecraft have doors that open outwards and require a team of technicians working from the outside to unlock them, especially after a trip to space. And for some viewers, the capsule simply looked way too clean for a space mission. The all-female crew in the flight, which included pop star Katy Perry and Jeff Bezos' fiancée Lauren Sanchez, traveled just beyond the edge of space before parachuting back to Earth in a historic space travel mission.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. I just have one question. What do a bunch of women need to go to space for? As far as I know, there's no kitchens in space. I'm just joking. I'm joking. You know what? I'm not joking. Yeah, there's a lot of controversy going around about this silly little space trip that Jeff Bezos' wife and Katy Perry took. Yeah, you saw the video. How the door was open before Jeff Bezos got there, and then they filmed. You know, and to be fair, maybe they had a recovery team that was already out there and opened the hatch because they were all hot inside or something like that. I don't know. So, to be fair, that's possible, and they just let them cool off until Jeff Bezos showed up on scene, and then they go, now we have to film it and let Jeff Bezos be the one that opens the door. That way he looks all cool, opening the door for his wife, because that's very gentlemanly. You know, open the door for women, you know. So I don't know, man, but again, you know, that with as much money as Amazon has, they could fake a lot of stuff. And I do agree that shuttle looks awful clean. And maybe they didn't actually go that far. Maybe they just stayed in the interior atmosphere just to do the zero gravity stuff, and they never actually exited into space. I don't know. But we got a video from the PBD podcast where they kind of talk about the controversy.
You're going to have to give me a second.
Well.
I accidentally closed out of it.
Oh, nice.
So give me one
So,
second here.
Anyway, but yeah, there's a lot of controversy because the whole point is, allegedly, again, you know, if I'm being fair, if I'm giving them the most charitable case, again, let's say another recovery team got there and opened the door, but if Jeff Bezos and his crew were the first ones to arrive on scene, the door was already open, which, if you know anything about, like, pressurized air cabins, you don't really open doors from the inside, you open them from the outside, especially things like spacecraft.
Well, and they open outward, too, because it's pressurized, and it will swing back and, like, take out everybody.
Yeah, so there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. And, again, it goes to show you where it's like, you know, it's like the more you learn about the space stuff, you know, it's like the more you realize, maybe, did we fake the moon landing? Because obviously Neil Armstrong's first footsteps on the moon were not the stuff that the camera recorded of him. It was him getting out, going to set up the camera, then climbing back into the space shuttle, then climbing out.
So
I mean, like, the first steps of the moon were actually taken 15 minutes earlier before I set the camera up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, again, being charitable there. So, I get it, you know. But, and like I said, again, Amazon has an unlimited budget. So, is it possible that they could have gone to space? Sure.
Yeah. But here we go. Sorry, I finally got it pulled back up here. Give me 1 second. I just need to remove a couple of our logos so we can actually see it. There we go. You ready?
Ready.
can you tell everybody here why they changed to make sure the door doesn't
Uh-oh.
open to the inside before you go ahead, Tom. Give us a break.
Pressure. You've seen all pictures. What happens when an airplane loses a window at like 30,000 feet, right? It's madness, right? All the stuff, you can get sucked right out of there. Just like a guy Pat's eyes will go right out the window like going through a meat grinder. And so When this thing goes all the way up and comes back, there's this process they have to do to open the door and to allow the pressure to equalize outside to inside. Not just like you just open it, because the pressure inside is actually lower. So you open that door, that thing would lip open, and you'd have your bell rung. It would like blow you.
Open it up, Rob. Watch this.
No,
Look, they're like, close the door!
no, not yet.
Jeff Bezos out there right by the capsule? Kind of hard to see.
That is
I have to
correct.
pee.
That is Jeff Bezos, our
No,
founder.
he has to step up with the official
Yeah.
doohickey thing.
This is the door being open from the.
So that's what spun all these conspiracy theories about this is a fake, event and all this. But they have the Daily Mail, I think, kind of breaks it down, like, saying that since they didn't break, like, it completely through all the atmosphere and they're only in space for a couple seconds, there wasn't a need. There was no scoring or anything on the thing because they didn't break, a certain layer of atmosphere. Or whatever, and then they didn't need to have it pressurized to the outside because they didn't go all the way up as high as they needed to go to to actually go into space. But
Right.
still, you're just like, it's weird stuff. And like this is the type of thing that's going to cause people to start worrying that oh, we didn't go to the moon.
Yeah, exactly. So, again, maybe just a gaffe by them, and like I said, that shuttle, it's a completely different thing than what actually happened. It's like they went to space, and then a day later they went out and had the film crew, film the recovery. I don't know. It's all very strange.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, that's the other thing everyone's like kind of like criticizing them about. It's like, what did they do? They didn't do anything. They didn't go to get samples. They weren't doing anything. It was just like they were testing this rocket, and that was it. And like, it's just like very funny because look, it's like women getting a very phallic shaped object to penetrate the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So it's like we're gonna see somebody go, why are rockets shaped like penises and not vaginas?
Yeah.
Patriarchy.
Yeah, how come they weren't wearing those pink, vagina hats or whatever when they were in space? But again, it's just, I think this is kind of Amazon recovering from, trying to help the airline recover from that all-female empowerment video stuff, where it's like all-female flight, and then it's like all-female flight crashes, It's like, see, look, they did it. And then, like I said, then this happens, and it's like, maybe they didn't do it. So again, you never know with editing and stuff like that. They could have just the windows might not be real. The windows could be green screened, and Katy Perry and all them could be just in the interior atmosphere, and a plane could be dropping low to get to simulate 0G, zero gravity.
Yeah. And there's this one right here. Is like I didn't even see this one yet. Is like, look, does that appear to be a mannequin inside the thing? And it does kind of look like it. Now, granted, it's very grainy, so it's very possible it's someone's hand, and it just looks weird. But so now there's a mannequin gate thing going on too. Why is there a dummy on the Blue Origin? Hey, did that look like Barbie's hand or Ken's? So there's a whole bunch of just weird stuff is blowing up around this.
Yeah, I've seen sci-fi movies from the 60s with better special effects.
Yeah, very, very strange. Very strange. Yeah.
And it looks like a tent more than it does a
Yeah.
reentry craft.
That's what everybody else is saying is, it looks like it's a tent set up in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, so, maybe technology's come a long way, and maybe the paint and the stuff they have on the side of that just makes it so much more resistant to entering the atmosphere and heat. But
Yeah. See, look, there was a dummy on here. What the heck?
oh my gosh. I don't know, folks. All I can tell you is that they're not doing NASA any favors with this stuff because it all just seems so staged.
Let's say Blue Origin has single-handedly confirmed all conspiracy theorists.
Worst
worst nightmares.
We didn't go to the moon. Yeah, and it's so ridiculous. But here we are, man. Here we are. Like the only way to not fake it is to have somebody with a GoPro, and there be no cuts from beginning to end. But again, it's like, how do we know it's not AI? You know what I mean? How do we know? We live in this world where, AI is about to be able to fake absolutely everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy, man. But what else you got for us?
Well, I said I've got a whole bunch of stuff going on today, but we'll just kind of finish off with this stuff already, and then we'll go over to, I guess, some of the memes that we had pulled up. And if we hadn't heard, I'll pull up some of the stuff, but there were a couple of school shootings.
Yeah,
that happened.
One
the
at
other
FSU
day.
and one in Tennessee, right?
Yeah, and the one at FSU is getting a little bit more
Scrutiny
and getting more screen time because the kid
is white.
Is white.
So, and we know everything about him. Again, the kid was white. His mom's a police officer. He used her gun. Again, we know absolutely everything there is to know about this kid. They're like, oh, he's a registered Republican. He's been to pro-Palestine rallies. You know, it's like, why do we know all this stuff? Like, so fast when it's always a white guy. But, I mean, that's what the media wants. The media loves it when it's a white killer. That's what they want. It fits the narrative. White people, it fits the cultural Marxist narrative. White people are the biggest problem in society. Christianity is the biggest problem in society. Therefore, we release everything immediately. We'll release opinion pieces, puff pieces, speculation pieces. Doesn't matter. But if the killer is of a different race, it's like, nope. Defense either ignore it completely or go into defense mode for the killer.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm trying to pull up right now. That's the one thing I forgot to pull up was stuff regarding school shooting.
FSU.
Go. All right. There we go.
Boom.
Pull up the Fox News.
Yeah, and
article.
again, and people will be like, "Oh, this is the kid was anti," and according to everything I've seen, the kid might have been a registered Republican, but he was anti-Trump. He's anti-Trump, and he's pro-Palestine.
Yep.
Weird things for a Republican to be, but you know, I mean, it's not without outside the realm of possibility. The mom, though, has stated openly that her child is on the spectrum. So
yeah.
This kid is somewhat autistic.
Yeah.
So,
and it says here, like I said, and here's the thing. He says he opened fire at Fuller State University, and he killed 2 and wounded 6. And don't get me wrong, that's awful. But there was one at a Texas high school the other day as well, and he killed 6 people, and we're not seeing nearly the amount of coverage
he
of
killed
this.
6 people over a dice game.
Yeah.
He lost a dice game and then pulled out a gun and shot 6 people.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. School shooting, Texas, real quick. Let me type this in.
Is it Texas or does it
I
Tennessee?
think it was Texas. Shooting in Texas. Yeah.
No pictures of the shooter.
Mm-hmm. No pictures of the shooter at all.
Again, guys, right here. I mean, we just Googled the other shooter in Florida. We know everything about that kid. Look at this. Do you see any pictures of the suspect? No. Do you know why? Because he's a person of color. Doesn't fit the narrative. Again.
Yeah.
This is how biased the media is.
Again, I was wrong. This one was 2 days ago, and they're only just now reporting on this stuff.
Yeah, this came out today.
Ago.
Yeah.
So, good Lord.
It's like, whenever the killer is a minority, it's like, let's wait on all the facts to come out before we even decide whether or not we're going to cover this. And then if it's a white kid, it's like, put it out immediately. Everyone must know. White people are dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Evil white racists are on the loose.
Yeah.
It's like we feared. They're behind every corner, waiting for you.
Yes, and it's absolutely ridiculous because, like, it's just like, there it is right there. Wilmer-Hutchins school shooting. This is the first picture that we can see of him.
Yeah, look at that. There's other pictures of other shooters in Texas that come up before the most recent shooting. It's like, hey, why'd this kid kill people? He lost the dice game. Excuse me? He lost the dice game. He lost the game of dice. I mean, I guess it's still not as bad as stabbing a kid in the heart for being asked to move. So I don't know, folks. I mean, it's absolutely insane. And again, it's this double standard, victim mentality that has been brought up through minority communities.
Yeah. And also, that's the other thing that we find out is, like, there's a school shooting at here a year before, too. So, obviously, we're supposed to assume that maybe this school has, like, a gang problem, possibly. Maybe that's why they're not reporting on it, because, this happens so often, just like, it's like all the shootings that happen in North Tulsa. It's like the news stopped reporting on it because it happened so often.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it could be one of those situations right here that we're having. But, yeah, like, killed 6 people, and you haven't heard a thing about it on the mainstream media. And this is what we talk about, how the media is gatekeeping,
Yeah.
certain stories out of the mainstream public attention because it doesn't fit the narrative of
Exactly.
minorities are innocent and oppressed.
Innocent baby angel Aladdins and white people are the problem. Again, it's like what I tell you. It's not what the media reports. There are stories the media doesn't report that are just as important that we never hear about that would change and warp your perspective on reality. But they want perception is reality. If the media chooses what they report on, they create a perception and a narrative about what they want people to be thinking about. And if they don't report on stuff, it's because they don't want you thinking about it. It's like, look, again, it's the whole, it's like, why is 12% of the population responsible for 60% of the crimes?
Mm-hmm.
Like, again, there is a culture problem in minority communities. Again, it's a small cultural problem, but it's still a problem. It's the world star mentality, or again, it's in Islamic communities. It's just Islam in general is a problem, but it's absolutely insane. And again, the media is gatekeeping what they report on, and thank God for Twitter and social media, and we're able to see this stuff. But it's like what I was talking about yesterday when our buddy posted that thing about that MS-13 gang member. Working class father deported by Trump, It's like, that's not what happened at all. But they don't care. I mean, I even sent the guy multiple articles, proving it showed the guy's, criminal records and all that stuff, a wife beating history.
Yeah.
And no response from the guy.
Well, it's because once you've been, shown the other side and you're convinced just by reading the headline, it's like, oh, this is true. And it's like, no, if you delve into it, it's like kind of like what we did. We kind of made like a semi mistake yesterday about what's his name, the kid that stabbed
Anthony.
Carmelo Anthony. Yeah. Is like apparently like that is a bunch of stuff being spread around by right-wing sources that haven't confirmed anything. Like the car and the home that they've all moved into, and
they're all purchased by the company.
Yeah, they're purchased by like the
people defending him.
Yes.
The what do you call it? The crisis group that's managing him and his situation there.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. That the fact that they have to have a crisis group or whatever for something like this, but yeah, it's like they purchased all this stuff for the family, and still, I mean, like the fact that they're getting this type of free funds from who knows free, they're probably going to have to pay these people back at some point, but just like it's ridiculous.
I don't think they will. I think they're going to get tons of funding. I think people are going to be like, oh, this great organization helps again because they don't care about the truth. They don't care about whether or not he's a criminal. They just care about tribalism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If we can get our community members away with murder, that's great. We want that. That's what this organization is. That's what they're about.
Yeah. And like that's the other part. I think both of these guys is the other strange part is both of these guys I think are in custody.
Yeah.
So strange fact that shooters are actually being like
captured.
They probably were wounded, I'm sure, but just like.
Well, the kid had the kid was using it. The FSU shooter was using his mom's pistol. All they had to do was wait for him to need to reload.
Yeah.
I'm sure he had very limited ammo.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just what is going on? Like, and I have to blame we don't know what there is to blame for all this. It's like, why are these kids feeling the need to do all this stuff? Now, I think I kind of have more motive behind the kid because we have the one kid who's clearly on the spectrum, so he's easily influenceable, and he
probably
goes
has a hard
college.
time making friends. Yeah,
hard time making friends. But I say like he goes to college, he starts getting inundated with left-wing propaganda from colleges. That's all.
So if he's on the right, he feels isolated because nobody agrees with his political philosophy, or he gets indoctrinated into the left-wing train of thought
and then, like, what is
radicalized.
He is the worst things that you can always be at college. He's straight, he's white, he's male. His mom is a police officer, which is seen like, I mean, we're talking about the side of the political aisle that's like completely anti-cop. Is defund the police, get rid of the police.
And on top of the fact being autistic and probably socially awkward.
So he clearly making him feel bad because he's the biggest problem in the world. I mean, you can't go around telling a group of people that they're the biggest problem in the world and expect nothing to come of it.
Yeah. But anyway, again, like I said, multiple shootings, and we've barely heard anything about them. Or again, we've heard about one and not about another, and it's because of racial BS. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
What-
But here he is. Yeah, he clearly looks
Yeah.
like he's on the spectrum for sure.
Yep. Our next little Dylan Ruth. Dylan Ruth being the shooter who tried to shoot Trump.
Yeah, but these guys, this is crazy. And I mean, I don't know about the one kid's political leanings, but like it's clear that it seems like it's a Anthony and Carmelo Anthony situation. Like he either felt disrespected after a dice game, maybe he felt like the guys cheated him or something. It's like, well, this is why gambling is bad. First off, and two, it's like, let it go. You lost. Like, I mean, good God, this is crazy.
Anyway, let's get on to some more light stuff. Let's move into the memes.
All right, we'll move into the memes.
Some of the memes are pretty dark, though.
Yeah, some of the memes are pretty dank, I would say. But we'll start off with this one first. You sent me this. This is from the Babylon Bee. Biden apologizes for racist gaffe. I like all races, even the bad ones.
Oh, Biden. I mean, but this is the president that said the N-word. He called,
Clarence Brown?
Clarence Thomas.
Yeah,
He was
Clarence
like,
Thomas, yeah.
We have enough N-word judges. We don't need any more N-word judges on the court. We have too many big shot N-word judges. We don't need any more. I mean, I cannot believe this guy has a career in politics after saying something like that. I mean, that's how you know that he is part of the establishment.
Mm-hmm. But we'll get on to some of we already did this one. That was the Patrick Bet-David one. Said, yeah, and then speaking of Democrats, like, see if you can pick out the Democrat. And again, it's a KKK member, anti-fascist, and a Palestinian protester. And we did this one before, but I still love this one.
Yeah.
Because all three of them pretty much are the Democrat
They're all
philosophy.
Democrats. Yeah, all of them are Democrats.
Said, and the right-wingers are called the radicals.
Yep.
The people that wave American flags. Now, this one I just found interesting, like for people who are wanting to go on vacation in the UK and you post frequently like right-wing stuff on Facebook. Like, I don't think I'll be able to visit the UK now.
Yeah, probably not.
As much as we and you rail on the UK not having free speech. But check this out.
Just says that if an American speaks in the United States in a way UK officials construe as affecting their national interests or even producing substantial effects within the country, even if that's just a statement about your Christian faith or your political stance, then you could be arrested upon entry in the UK. So the UK does not recognize the United States' First Amendment right of free speech. Americans can now be arrested upon
Very yikes, I mean, again, it looks like I might not be able to go to the UK with the stuff I post.
Yeah, like posts are what get him in trouble. And I remember we were watching Carl Benjamin or Sargon of Akkad getting talked to by Tim Pool, and he's like, yeah, it's like it's not really talking because they can't really prove talking unless they get you on camera. But it's mainly posts that they'll come after you for. So you can't post anything without the police checking you out. Like you have your own. Yeah, it's like it's like we joke about, everyone has their own FBI agent here that's watching all their posts. Like they literally do that in the UK, except it's a police officer.
Yeah, again, because why arrest hard crimes like stopping the Islamic grooming gangs? Why stop murder or crime when you can posting on social media? It's actually an easy way to have high levels of criminal conviction because a post can be kept and tracked. It's hard to go after rapists. It's hard to go after criminal murderers. It's hard to find Islamic grooming.
Yeah,
that's hard. Why we want to go out and do the legwork whenever people make a post? Yeah. They're doing the legwork for us. It's easy to track that crime.
Literally what this is. This is police work. This is police work for TikTokers. It's like I can sit at a desk and keep track of people and figure out crimes at my computer. Oh no, someone said something mean about an immigrant.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. It's pathetic, man. The UK, you are lost. You are pathetic, sad excuse of a country.
Mm-hmm. This next one I thought was great, and it's it's hard to see these pictures, but first one is hard times create strong men, and it's a D-Day. It's a roller through D-Day. Mm-hmm. People crawling up the beach. And it says strong men create. It's hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times, and it's man with a family. He has his wife, daughter, and son. And it says, good times create white liberal women. Then white liberal women create hard times. And It's not wrong when women can vote to send people to war that they don't have to participate in, and vote for policies that actively enhance their position while simultaneously like making it harder for men to get jobs. You know, yeah, you're making a worse society.
You're destroying society.
Yeah,
And what's
exactly.
sad is too, I mean, and that's the truth. I mean, the truth is, college-educated women tend to vote Democrat. And then, you know, it's like the Jimmy Kimmel argument. Well, that's because people on the left tend to be smarter. It's like, that's not true. But again, it just goes to show you. It's why they took away Obama took funding away from vocational schools, because vocational schools taught people trades and, you know, was subsidized for learning how to do useful jobs. And then they made it to where everyone would go to college, and guess what? Colleges just tend to pump out Democrats, and that's why they funded it. They were like, we're funding future voters.
Yep. It's the other part too is like this is the part that the red pill community. I don't always agree with everything the red pill community says, but they're not wrong. They get things right. I said it's the thing that they're getting right is women, college educated women, don't like to date men that they believe are beneath their station.
Yeah.
So they will not. I said college liberal women are you're losing potential dating people because they're like, I'm not going to date a blue collar, you know, guy that works with his hands all day.
A plumber? Why would I date a plumber? It's like that plumber makes like over $100K a year.
Yeah. But that's because women care more about status than they do about a good career. Because like plumbers make great money.
Yeah.
Like great money. Like I said, plumbers, welders. I mean, you can go through a list of all the trades jobs that they make like over 800. Some of them make up to 800 to over, you know, $1 million a year, depending on what type of work that they can get.
Yeah.
And they're like, ugh. Said no, they want to date the media influencer, the CEO, the lawyer. Yeah, they go through all the hard jobs, you know, just like the doctor, whatever.
Yep, it's all about social status with girls. Again, it's not about finding a good moral man who's going to provide and go to hell and back to provide for you, even if it's, you know, working 3 jobs. It's about finding the high status guy, the good looking guy, the guy that. You know, again, it's the 80-20 rule. You know, it's like 80% of women are after 20% of the men, and that's not going to change. It's never going to change. But that's why you have to look for someone of good moral character instead of looking for someone with the career of the job. It's like it's about finding someone you're compatible with, not about just looking for the career.
Yeah, it's like the problem is with like the Instagram and media culture that we have now is that they can all get swept off their feet by a Prince Charming in, you know, California, Florida, or wherever. Like, hey, I saw your pictures on Instagram. I think you're cute. I can fly you out to my, you know, luxury, you know, mansion or whatever over here. It's like he doesn't have any intentions of marrying you. He's just, you know, but to the girl, that sounds like they're Prince Charming waiting to sweep them off their feet. When he's only going to use you for one thing, then he's never going to call you again.
It's the whole I'm special, unique, and different from all the other girls he's going to meet. It's like, no, you're not. It's like, you think your coochie's special? It's not. Like, you are just another notch on the belt. You're just another chick. You know, it's like you have to provide value. Like, that's, you know, it's like you have to prove that you're a woman of good moral character. It's like, and all of them go out there going, I am a woman of good moral character. No, if you were a woman of good moral character, you would never even consider going and flying out to meet a guy you've never met before, you know, for a weekend and staying in his house with him. And it's like, you know, you don't do that. You know, you're supposed to be chaste and stay away from, you know, immoral activity until, you know, the man actually proves himself to you.
Yep. But this next one I've pulled up is relevant to the Carmelo Anthony case. Is Kane raises $1 million in crowdfunding donations after killing Abel. Help Kane official fund.
Wow. Babylon B always crushing it, man. That's awesome.
Oh, good stuff. Then this is relevant to what we just talked about. Like, this is a meme that's just what we just talked about. He's like, how can you ignore gun violence in America? A shooter just massacred a dozen and as he's about to say people, he goes, this NRA guy's like, he was black, and then the guy goes to being quiet and sipping his tea.
Oh, well, never mind.
Yeah.
You know, again, that perfectly sums up what we've been talking about this. If the killer is black or the killer is a minority, it doesn't fit the narrative, people stop talking about it immediately, especially the media. It's like, we don't care.
Yeah, I mean, what was that one case where the media was reporting it like crazy, and then the moment that they figured out that the suspect
Wasn't
was
it
black,
the Super Bowl victory?
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
I believe so. And because it was all over the news for like 2 days, and the moment that they figured out who the suspect
It was two black guys.
yeah,
It's
it
like
went quiet.
the Family Guy meme. Black. All you have to do to make the media quit talking about it is talk about black on black crime, and then media's gone. Nobody's talking about it anymore.
Yep. But that is a great meme right
Yep,
there.
epic stone toss meme.
And then this one is
This is
dark.
bad,
Yeah.
dude.
So there's only one man that can stop Carmelo Anthony. Jesus.
Derek Chauvin.
Jesus.
Officer Derek Chauvin is the hero we need right now.
He's not the hero we deserve. He's the hero we need.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. I cannot. Whoever made this meme, holy
You
cow.
are a madman.
You're a madman.
Madman.
You're wildin', bro, as they say. You're wildin'.
You're wildin'. You're wildin'. Oh, God. But yeah, that's the one we just saw. And then I like this. This one kind of popped up in my feed, and I thought it was very relevant because we've been talking about the indoctrination on like most media platforms. And we know Netflix is basically kind of run by the Obamas and the left-wing platform. Says every recent movie on Netflix, white man is the villain, black man is the hero, gay guy is the voice of reason, woman has the balls, dad is an idiot, mom is the breadwinner, children are sexualized. Netflix is social engineering, not entertainment.
Yeah. Again, you know, it's like whenever these little low budget indie films, like, I mean, like there's isn't there a Christian movie? Like it's like the King of Kings or whatever is like doing really well in
I think
theaters
that's on
right now.
Prime, yeah.
No, it's in theaters too.
Okay.
I remember
Okay.
walking by it whenever we went to go see Warfare.
Oh, yeah.
So again, it's the problem, you know. It's like make the white guys the villains, make the black people the heroes, make the gay guy. I mean, that's a perfect summary of the movies on Netflix and for the last 10 years or so.
Yeah, I'd even argue Prime as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. You know, at least Prime occasionally will drop in something like The Chosen or, you know,
Well,
some
that's
type of
Angel
religious
Studios,
thing.
and that's technically not exclusively on
True.
Prime.
That's very true. Correct. Yeah.
Yep. But again, the quartering's where I saw this from. But yeah,
Yeah.
this guy shot up a school the other day. 5 victims. Bet you didn't see it covered, and it was only covered on local media. And like, this is the problem. Is like our friends will send us articles about this, and they're like, "See, look, it was covered in the news." Like, then you go, "Yeah, but look, that's local news."
Yeah,
We're
they'll be like,
talking
see,
about
Fox News covered it. It's like, yes, the local Fox affiliate, the small station. Like that'd be like saying News on 6 came to Owasso to cover a shooting. It's like, yeah, but it wasn't picked up by, you know, MSNBC or CNN.
Yeah, and it's not being run like every day. I mean, like when a white person is the shooter and kills a bunch of people, especially like if it's minority people, like it is played constantly throughout the week, at least for a week. And like they're like, we need gun laws. Like we haven't heard anything about needing to pass gun laws or anything when at these last two right now. And it's because I argue it's because the left is wanting to arm itself and be violent. So they're like, I mean, I haven't heard a Democrat call for gun control since the Trump election, if you think about it. I mean, we didn't even hear about it whenever Trump got shot. They weren't asking for gun control.
Of course not, because they didn't control the gun well enough to get rid of the person they didn't like.
Then there's this one. We've seen this one before. We've even showed it on this show before, but still great. It says, if you enter a building illegally, you must face the consequences. Why are they deporting people that entered the country illegally?
Yeah, again, it's just the double standard of the left. You know, it's like January 6th was an insurrection. It's like, guys, left-wing protesters go into Capitol buildings all the time. We never hear about it because it's the right political affiliation. And then whenever a group of people on the right do it and nobody gets hurt or killed except for the protesters, I mean, if any of the protesters on the left had been shot, we'd never hear the end of it being authoritarian fascism. But the only people who died on J6 were the protesters. Remember, they lied and said, like, 5 cops died. It's like, no, 1 cop died 2 days later due to heart failure. Had nothing to do with the accident. And people are still saying that there were people dead. Same as that, like that you know, the interview that what's-his-name's dad went to? That guy was saying Kyle Rittenhouse used an AK-47 and shot people in the back. I mean, openly lying years later after Kyle was acquitted.
Kyle Rittenhouse case was over 5 years ago now, and they're still getting it wrong. He had an AR-15. He shot nobody in the back. And if you remember when it first happened, the media had it portrayed that he had shot 3 minorities. Everybody Kyle Rittenhouse shot was white.
Yep. Again, that just goes to show you the level of lies and corruptions that people in these minority communities believe about the police and about every event that happens. It's crazy.
It's like, this is why we keep telling you, the media is lying to you. Even if they issue the retraction, like we talked about, like the retraction's issued like a week later, and it's like a half-assed apology. It's like, we got it wrong.
On page 22.
Yeah. And guess what? It doesn't matter because that doesn't get portrayed in the media and doesn't shoot through the social spaces as fast as, look at this violence, look at this. He shot a minority. And I said, actually, we find out that he didn't shoot any minorities. And it's like, yeah, that got posted like 2 weeks later, and nobody gives a crap because the lies already spread around the world.
Again, a lie travels halfway around the world before the truth has time to put its shoes on.
But then there's this next one right here by SKS Cartoons. It says, oh, Canada will never be the 51st state. And he goes, we're China's 24th province.
Yeah, this is what happens whenever you have a strong leader like Trump. Really, just because again, Canada doesn't produce anything like at all. Like they have the worst GDP growth, like at like what 6% of all Western nations. They produce the least.
It's like we get like the big thing we get from Canada is like lumber and guess what?
Milk and eggs.
Yeah, milk, eggs, and lumber. Guess what? We have all of those things here.
Yeah, and again, if we lowered the ability to, didn't punish and tax ourselves so hard, more local farmers could be able to take that down. Again, they tariff all of our goods that they import. Like we are literally, America is subsidizing Canada's economy. Canada could not exist without the tariffs they put on the U.S.
Yeah, 100%.
We're subsidizing their free health care.
Yeah, it's like every other nation that Trump is tariffing or has threatened to tariff has us tariffed. Some of our goods, at least some of our goods, tariffed to high degrees, so that way their people don't buy it because it's more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord, it's like no one understands how tariffs work. I swear to God.
Yep.
But anyway, but it says like that lady. The lady in the store showed the Canadian goods versus the and technically not just Canadian, but it was imported like strawberries versus American strawberries.
Mm-hmm.
The imported strawberries were like $3. Guess how much the American strawberries were? Like $1.40. That's how tariffs work. The goods that come from the United States are going to be cheaper. The goods that come imported, not from the United States, are going to be more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And you're welcome to buy them still. If you really support Canada and all these other places, buy them, but they're going to be more expensive for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I would rather support local. I always would rather support local.
Yeah, buy a local cow. Go in, but spend $1,200, get a year's worth of cow meat put in your fridge. Jeez, people.
Yeah, this next one you sent me, I think it's really good. Mostly peaceful memes, and it's the Trump administration, and then it's this lady holding Kevin Hart says Democrats, and then Kevin Hart is MS-13. You don't talk to him like that.
Yeah, Democrats defending gang members over sovereign U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
We don't care about them. We care about the criminals because we know they're going to vote for us in the next upcoming election because we want as many. Again, how many people have we talked to that go, illegals don't vote? It's like, yeah, they do.
And even if they don't, they count to the census.
Yes,
which is why we should only have the census count for population, voting
U.S. population, not total population, U.S. citizens.
100%.
Because California has like 4 or 5 extra seats due to their population of illegal immigrants.
New York probably too,
at
least.
And maybe Texas as well, which is why it's turning purple.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I guarantee if we got rid of most of the illegals, we could probably get that down more. But granted, a lot of people have moved from California and New York to Texas, as we know. Like the Joe Rogan, I fear the Joe Rogan effect on Austin is going to be a real thing where we could easily see Texas turn purple.
Yeah, well, I mean, Austin's always been blue, though. Been blue for a while.
There's that one again. I still love it. All right, yeah, and then this one's like, yes, it's the Trump supporters who are the crazy ones. Here is a lady confronting an old couple at a restaurant because the guy's wearing a MAGA hat and he has the audacity to eat at a Mexican restaurant.
In public. Yeah. Check it out.
I have a baby here with you. You're a disgusting, sick, vile weirdo. Oh my God, it's right. You don't.
Unprovoked, this woman went there.
He doesn't want me or you to have equality. Oh my God, go pray for me. Tell
She approaches her and tells her to sit down.
You want me to make you feel okay and comfortable in this one? Look at you. I'm proud of this man. This man here some people. Thank you. You don't like the fire service? You don't like that?
Well-adjusted citizen here.
Remember, everyone, it's the right wing that's the crazy ones.
Yeah, we're the crazy ones. We're the bad guys. We go out. I mean, this lady walked up to just a very old man. If you can see the video, I mean, he's a very old man. It's an old couple. And she just goes up to them unprovoked because he's wearing a Trump hat and starts just berating him in public.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the Maxine Waters effect. You know, it's like, you need to form a crowd. You need to let them know that they are not welcome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, it's disgusting.
Yeah. And whereas when somebody on the right, like Trump, calls for something like that, it's like, it's violence. He's calling
insurrection.
He's calling for violence against his political opponents.
Yep. Yep. Again, it's the same thing as what I told you. It's like, you know, they were saying that judges wouldn't stand up for a lot of these politicians who were basically using USAID funds or whatever. Going,
yeah.
This is a judicial malpractice because these lawyers are too afraid to work for to represent these people. This is Trump's an evil dictator for this, and it's like, why weren't you throwing a fit whenever Trump's lawyers were being prosecuted for doing their jobs by defending Trump? Yep. It's almost like you don't actually have any principles. You just care about politics.
Yeah, you just care that your political opponents get in trouble and get bad things happen to them.
So again, it just pisses me off, man.
This next one is OnlyFans isn't a real job. Okay, how have I just bought my first flat at 19? And then it shows this girl in her new apartment, and then this guy, the top comment is, over 100 years of feminism, and you have to resort to being an online prostitute to being successful. And, yeah.
Strong and independent women, folks. That's how you become a successful woman. And I can't tell you how many women my age or older, you know, are, like, doing this kind of stuff. You know, it's like, who have, like, 3 or 4 kids. You're just like, what are you doing? Yeah. Subscribe to my PayPal. Subscribe to my OnlyFans. I have exclusive content.
Yeah, what was it?
It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, ridiculous. Then this is the last one you sent me, and this says, Muslim family destroys their car because it's being repossessed for non-payment.
Yeah, we couldn't make the payment, therefore it's the guy who's towing it away's fault, and we're going to destroy it so no one will want it. I mean, like, deport these people. Get rid of them. They this is their culture. Like, they're mad because they can't afford a car, and now it's somebody else's fault.
And she's so concerned. Like, if you watch, this is hilarious because, like, if you saw earlier, she grabs her hijab to make sure that her hair doesn't come out. Why she's like, she's more concerned about her hair not being revealed than she is destroying
somebody else's property.
Yeah, yeah. So strange. So strange.
Again, this is a backwards culture that is just, I mean, it's wrong from every moral perspective. It's so sad, but I mean, here we are. I mean, and these the level of entitlement.
The whole family involved.
Yeah, look at this. It's crazy. It's like, I'll meet you at the snack bar. You cannot take out a car.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
I chop off your hands. You know.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got though with all the memes though.
Anyway, so this was our Friday meme review. This is the Twins with Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you too can stay in the loop. But that is all we've got for you today. God bless you.
And we will see you later, everybody.
At the body shop,